honestly, I'm here to tell people that this is such a simple thing that you can do for someone. Like if it's a friend or a family member, like it really was such a simple procedure that I had to do to give life for Brittany's baby. So I kind of stated as that I'm just the messenger, right? And I feel like
God brought us into each other's lives for a reason.
Yeah.
Like definitely we've had past lives together. I'm certain of that.
Yeah.
In 2011, actress Brittany Daniel was enjoying her nearly 20-year career in Hollywood with an impressive resume that included starring roles in the teen drama Sweet Valley High
I love being me.
and the long-running dramedy The Game.
First order of business. Cheers!
Then, suddenly, a cancer diagnosis turned her life upside down. But after surviving an 18-month battle with the deadly disease, Brittany was left with a newfound clarity.
It wasn't until I went through cancer that I was like living with my sister in her guest house with my mom, and she had her 2 children, and then she became pregnant with her daughter. And I just remember like I have a new lease on life. Like I want every opportunity, and I think it was a big turning point for me where I was like ready to, find my partner and get married and have a child.
In 2012, Brittany began an emotional, nearly decade-long journey which led to the happiest of endings, the October 24th, 2021 birth of her first child, Hope Rose Tooney.
It was magical. I mean, to see my sister finally be a mom is just, I've been dying for her to have a baby. I'm sure she's been dying more than I have.
For a really long time.
Yeah, really, I feel like for 10 years we've been hoping for something like this. So yeah, I just feel so blessed to be able to help my sister make her dreams come true. So it's the least I can do for her.
It was so cool to see my sister with Hope for the first time because I'm like, she's your baby too. She's very connected with both of us. Like she knows.
It's interesting though, I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about like would all these emotions come up for me and go, oh my gosh, this is part me, and it really hasn't. It really feels, I really just feel like the aunt, and I'm just so happy to be able to watch her become a mom. And so yeah, it's been really special.
We get emotional. It's the bond. Like, it's like we're so intertwined. Like we're just very close. So everything that's hers is mine and mine's hers.
Yeah.
So
We're just adding to the family now.
yeah.
Brittany and her identical twin sister Cynthia began acting together when they were kids. And in the 90s, they landed their first starring roles playing twin sisters Jess and Liz Wakefield in Sweet Valley High.
Well, hey, you two, what's up?
Nothing. We're just combing the halls looking for an eligible man for my sister.
But after Sweet Valley High ended in 1997, Cynthia began focusing on her photography career and building a life with her future husband, actor Daniel-Hauser. Meanwhile, Brittany continued to work regularly in Hollywood, appearing in numerous TV and film projects.
Come on. I'll treat you to a Dairy Queen.
Why are you being all nice?
I am always nice to you, Joe Dirt.
But in 2011, at the age of 35, Brittany received a terrifying diagnosis, stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
When I got the news that I had cancer, it was like I was levitating and looking down.
Exactly, that's how I felt too.
Yeah.
I had like ringing in my ears, and I felt like, we were up on the ceiling looking down on this.
And I remember the doctor like trying to walk me through all the things and the scan I needed to get done. But the good thing is that when I did get that news, my mom was in town visiting because she was really worried about me. And then my sister was with me, and we went to the doctor's office together. I did not know they were going to tell me that I had cancer, but thank God I was there with my family when I found out. And so the next day I got the biopsy, and as soon as I woke up, they were like, yeah, it's cancer, it's stage 4, and it's super fast moving. They don't think I had it that long, and they said that we have to start chemo the next day. Like I didn't have let me see if I want to do alternative medicine, or let me see if I want to freeze my eggs. That was never even brought up to me because I think they were like, you're gonna die if we don't do this. And they said, they're like, either you'll quickly respond to the chemo or you won't at all. But I did chemo for probably 6 months. And then for at least a year after that, I was really sick. I was on a feeding tube in the hospital and they were like, you're cancer free, but I'm on death's door because it's just so aggressive, the type of chemo that I had to take to get rid of it. So it was a rough year and a half, when you say.
I mean, still recovering from the trauma.
But I think probably maybe like one of the harder moments is just because I literally lost all my hair. Like I didn't even have my eyelashes and I was so sick. And I think what really helped me was, because it's almost like you forget, you look in the mirror, you're like, I don't even see myself anymore. And so I've mentioned this in the past that like she was my mirror. So she was like, I was like, oh, this is what I know I can get back to. So, and then she was pregnant with her third child. And I was like, I know I can have this too. Like we've always kind of been that for each other. So I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. And so, yeah, I was cancer free. But then they just realized that the chemo had just really not damaged my ovaries, but my ovarian reserve of eggs. So I was like determined. I'm like, no, I don't believe this. So I tried 2 different times to retrieve eggs. And he's like, I just don't think we're gonna be able to do it for you. And at some point during the time that I was working with this doctor, I said that I had an identical twin sister. And he was like, well, you guys have the same DNA. It's literally like, you can't get any closer to your own eggs. And he's like, do you think she'd be open to doing that? And I was like, I think so.
I mean, I definitely was on board. I was like, okay, I need to go home and talk to my family and just make sure everyone's okay with it. But I just see it as it's such a simple gift I can give my sister. Like, it's such a simple thing that I have to do to create life for her. How could I not do it? Like, I know Brittany would do that in a split second for me. So we've always shared everything. So why not our babies?
In 2016, just 6 months after freezing her sister's eggs, Brittany met her future husband, real estate agent Adam Tooney, over July 4th weekend. By the end of that year, Brittany and Adam were engaged and ready to start a family together.
When I met him, I told him, like, I don't know how it even came up. I was like, oh yeah, I'm 40. Like, I was never like someone that was shy about like, or like trying to cover. I was like, oh yeah, I'm 40. He's like, what? And then we started talking, and then I somehow in the conversation, I was like, they were talking about wanting the family, and I said, oh yeah, I said, well, you know, just so you know, I was like, my sister gave me her eggs, so that's how we would need to do it. And yeah, I just put it on the table, and he was like, huh, okay, let me process this. How's this gonna go down? But maybe I brought it up because it was like, I'm 40, but I still can have, you know, yeah. I think that's probably where I was like, yeah, but like, I want a family, and it's totally possible for me, and this is how we're gonna do it. So we had 3 failed embryo transfers, so we had 2 miscarriages. And by the 3rd one, the doctor was like, I'm 95% sure that your body, for whatever reason, because it's really, they're putting something kind of foreign in your body, and it's kind of like a heart, I think of a heart transplant. It's like your body just naturally wants to reject something that's not, you know, that's been sitting in a petri dish for, you know, a couple years. But, you know, it's hard because you're like, we're so excited to start our family, and they couldn't really figure out what was going wrong. And they were like, we just can't figure it out. And, you know, we don't want you to keep going through this. And so they had mentioned surrogacy. And at that point, if you'd said that early on, I would be like, no, I want to carry this baby. Like, I really want to. I need to go through this experience. But after going through it 3 times, my husband's like, I literally can't see you go through this, like what you have to go through. So I think they were like, let's move to surrogacy. And honestly, I was like, as soon as they made the decision, I felt like so relieved. I was like, this is the way to go. And then we were like, oh my God, we've got to now save money for surrogacy. Like, so expensive. And so we then saved money for an entire year, and to like, then have to wait a whole another year. And I was like, is this gonna happen? Like, am I, like, cause when I went through cancer, I was like, I had a vision board, and it was like, on the vision board was like a woman, you know, a couple getting married, a baby. And I was like, this is what I'm living for. And this is what I have literally fought so hard to get to. And I said, is this not gonna happen for me? Like, I'd say this last year was the hardest year before Hope came, or I guess 2 years ago, because I thought, I was scared that it wasn't gonna happen. So we ended up we hired a surrogacy agency, and it literally is kind of like a dating service. Like, they ask you tons of different questions about like what you believe in, and like what kind of relationship you want to have with your surrogate. And Do you want any diet restrictions? Like whatever it looks like for you. And then they do the same for the surrogate, and then they match you. And so we waited 5 months to be matched, and then we met over Zoom because of COVID. We had like a 2 or 3 hour Zoom with them, and then we went on a picnic together, and we're like, we matched. Like, I choose you, you choose me. And so, like, she likes me. So yeah, really just super lovely family. Like, yeah, awesome person. And we still text every day, and it was really important for Adam and I for the surrogate that we chose to live within driving distance because of COVID. When she was born, we didn't want her to get on a plane, and we wanted a relationship with them. So she lived very close by, and we hung out a lot, and we got to know her family and her kids, and I went to all the appointments. We were all in the delivery room together when she gave birth. Luckily, we had a really amazing nurse, and she let Adam and then our surrogate's husband in. So the 4 of us were in the room together, and it was like amazing. Our surrogate is such a badass. Like, she doesn't use any medication, nothing. So just to watch her naturally move through this and use breathing to give birth to our child we're like in awe. It was so beautiful to be able to be in there with her, and it was a relatively quick delivery. So as soon as she was born and they gave her to me, the cry that came out of me was like so primal, like a cry of like this combination of like joy and like a mom that like lost their child, like a wail that came out of me, and that like had been living so deep in my soul. And like the entire room, we were all like just bawling, because it was just, everybody in the room knew that we had a surrogate, obviously knew that what we had been through. So the first thing I did was just like literally wailed for so long and screamed, and I'm like holding hope, and I'm like, God, am I traumatizing my daughter right now? Hopefully she knows that it's like a happy cry.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you. You didn't tell me this.
What? Yes.
I think it was such a sense of relief going, she's here, she's healthy. Like, I feel so protective, and it feels so vulnerable, even though this is such an exciting time. Like, please, Lord, just let everything go right and everything's fine. And yeah, I think it was besides having my own kids, it's the happiest day of my life, really. Yeah.
While Brittany and Adam continue to celebrate the magical birth of baby Hope, they're also already thinking of the future and the possibility of adding to their happy family.
I think we'd like to. You know, I tell my husband, he's 5.5 years younger than me, and so he's like, yeah, we need a second one. I was like, okay. I was like, let's just see how we do with the first one. But I have a feeling we'll probably have a second one. Yeah, he needs a son. Yeah, so probably that will happen, and I want Hope to have a sibling as well. So.
She's got a sibling.
That's true.
She's got twins.
I know that's true. It's been amazing. Like, it's better than I thought it was gonna be. I was like prepared for like colicky baby that's like aggro all the time, but she's not. She's like the sweetest baby. I was like, I think God was like, okay, you've been through enough. We're gonna give you a sweet baby, because she's actually really just calm and amazing. I have told her just like how grateful I am that it's a huge dream to come true, like to start a family is like, and my husband is so grateful too, to my sister.
Well, you know that the saying is that giving is really a selfish act, because it feels so good, you know, and it's just as rewarding for me to see my sister finally have her baby. And it doesn't even seem like it's hard for me to even, like when people are like, wow, I can't believe you did that for him. Like, what did I really do? It's like this, it's in my body. It's what I'm supposed to do. It's like, why would I not give that to my sister? It's just what you do. Or at least we were raised to